Fezzan is a small, weak country in the Libyan desert that's just trying to get their independence from Tripoli and from the Ottoman Empire. However, today I have great plans for them. But first, we need to win the war. Let's set everybody to defense, merge the armies, and we can probably win the war by just defending if we get lucky on the first battle. Since we are pretty evenly matched, and since the Ottomans are not involved. But we can do a couple more things to make sure we win. Such as getting a pact with the Nafusis, which is this Berber Ibadi group. And they'll give us a couple morale buffs, and we'll switch our religion to Ibadi. So let's do it, that's very cool. I think Oman is the only other Ibadi country in the world. Oh no, actually there is also this one decentralized country over here, but they don't really count. Oh, and Mombasa as well, but they're also kind of part of Oman. Anyway, back to the war. We can also raise our military wages, although we'll have to raise taxes a bit, and we can get the armed forces in government and start passing professional army with the help of the Ibadi ulema. That will make the armed forces very loyal, and since they are powerful, that means we get another 20% offense and defense. So there is absolutely no way we can lose this war. As for research, I'll definitely go for colonization, and of course the French are immediately taking over Algeria. There is nothing we can really do about it, so we might as well improve with them. They are protective right now. Okay, we're winning the first battle, and another victory, and at this point we can probably do a counterattack, and it's over. It's unfortunate we can't take any land from them, but hey, at least we're independent, and we are completely surrounded by the Ottoman Empire, and we have absolutely no resources whatsoever, but at least we have claims over the west of Libya, so that's definitely gonna be ours. But for now there is nothing we can do, other than passing a couple laws, like religious schools. Okay, and surprisingly Mascara actually occupied those French cities, but they're not gonna take them, they're just gonna humiliate France. Okay, finally we got colonization. Now let's start passing colonial resettlement. Oh yeah, we can start colonizing, but we won't colonize in Libya. Instead we'll go straight for Algeria. This way we might be able to get a connection to the Algerians. And look how fast we are. We'll try to get appointed bureaucrats, although it's gonna be a bit hard to pass. And after colonizing this province, I think we can get a connection to Tobruk. Okay, that's very nice. Time for war. There we go. Now I would like to attack Constantine, but I have a pretty big army. And also Egypt could join. And I am very scared of Egypt. Maybe we can start colonizing Sahara as well and get a connection to Mascara. They are a bit weaker. But Morocco might protect them. Yeah, it's very unfortunate. At least we got the law. The Ottomans lost the war against Egypt and they were forced to release Bulgaria. Also Austria took over Hungary. And for some reason Romania formed in Transylvania. Actually Austria unified their empire. We got a border with Mascara, but it's all for nothing. Cause Morocco will protect them. And Egypt just loves Constantine for some reason. Also Britain became a republic. Now the Egyptians are at war with the Ottomans again. So I think this is my opportunity to do a move over here. Let's go for Mascara, because they are way weaker than Constantine. Constantine might actually beat me up, you know. But we can definitely conquer Mascara. Oh no. The British Republic is now trying to make a protectorate in Constantine. Why, Britain, why? I mean, I could attack them as well, but I don't know if I can beat them. I might just have to. Constantine back down. The French are taking Mascara. Everything is going crazy over here. We gotta finish this war very quickly. Okay, we conquer Mascara. Now we gotta go back on the front with Constantine and fight them for a bit. And they're beating us. It's incredible. Okay, we are defending. Okay, we can try a counterattack finally. They got pretty crazy over here. But now it's over for them. If they're not gonna enforce on us, that is. Okay, we did it. We conquered Constantine. Now we might as well go for Aitapas as well. There we go. Through a very chaotic course of events, we managed to conquer all of Algeria and keep the Europeans out of here. Except for the French ports, of course. Now it's time to balance the budget, cause things are really bad. Now I guess we could try to get agrarianism with the support of the armed forces. You know, we might have to delete the entire army. There is no way to balance the budget otherwise. But if we're gonna delete our army, we'll need protection from someone. And I think that someone will be Britain. But for a guarantee, we'll have to make some concessions, such as giving them monopolies on all of our industries. It is unfortunate, but it has to be done. Okay, for 25 years we'll be protected by Britain, although we'll have to sell our country out. Oh yeah, thankfully Britain did choose market unification as their last mandate, so we'll be able to join the British market eventually. We're going into a bit of a debt spiral, in the sense that we get into even more debt just to pay the interest on the previous debt we got. But I hope we can turn it around by reforming the economy, join the British market, and integrating those Algerian states. Oman declared me a rival, really. It's okay, we're better buddies than them anyway. We can join the British power bloc, and they went for market unification too. So we are actually part of the British market. So we'll have to redo our treaty. Thing is, we really can't right now. So we'll have to give up on the guarantee for now. And we finally got agrarianism. Now I'll try to increase taxes. And the landowners are trying to coup us. Actually, the prince is trying to coup the government. What if I retire him from command? What will happen then? It just goes away. And now everybody hates our prince. And the landowners are very angry. Whoa, another Carlist civil war in Spain. This time even bigger. We should definitely keep an eye on this. Oh, okay, the French are gonna destroy the Carlist. Well, we got per capita, and finally we stabilized the economy. We paid off all the debt, and we can become a real country, with construction sectors, and resources, and we can even start rebuilding the army. This time a line infantry army. Let's try to get some free trade. And the French French have expelled our diplomats. That means they are definitely coming for us. So we better build that army. Oh, and the North German Federation just formed. That's good, that's good. I like all the enemies of France. Oh, the prince is trying a coup again. And again it fails. But this time free trade also fails. We have 0 infamy, so I think it's time for us to attack someone. And I think I'll go for Morocco. I'm pretty sure they are still using irregular infantry. Oh yes they are. So although they outnumber us, we should be able to do it. There we go, we can end this. And we own all of Morocco. We should start integrating it. A disgraced exile. So our prince will have to go into exile. Okay, sure. Now Nur al-Din is our new prince. And he's a slaver. We got skirmish infantry. And I think I will switch my units. I've been lucky so far, but the French can always come for us. And with Morocco gone, the French have started to colonize West Sahara. That's a bit unfortunate, but I think we'll focus on Algeria. Now I was thinking about Tunisia. They are part of the Ottoman Empire, but the Ottomans really aren't what they used to be. They have only 63 battalions, and they are still using line infantry. Meanwhile, we got skirmish. So I think we can take over Tunisia pretty easily. There we go, we're holding against them, and then we'll do a counterattack. And we're gonna fail, of course. So we'll defend some more, and now we'll try another counterattack. And it took a bit of time, but we won. Colonization of East Sahara completed. And we finished the colonization of Central Sahara as well. Now question is, do we try to take something in West Sahara, or we start colonizing Libya finally? We can't really go into the other regions because they have malaria. Well, I mean the French already hate me. No one can take states in Libya since we have claims on them. So I might as well take a bit of West Sahara. Just a little bit. Now the Ottomans are attacking the Egyptians once again. And the Egyptians are definitely gonna win. However, if I attack the Egyptians as well, there is no way they can defend Tripolitania and take over the Ottomans at the same time. So we have to attack right now. The Ottomans are gonna lose, but I still hope they will hold on for a little bit. At least until I take over my war goals. We also got railways, that's pretty nice. But we have more important things to worry about. We occupied the war goal, but I'll still go a bit further just because I can. And the Greeks are attacking the Ottomans as well. Man, they want to take over all of this. And they have Russian help, so I think they'll do it. We can end the war and take over Tripolitania. It's really over for the Ottomans. Now they're fighting Austria as well. And they'll be taking Serbia and Moldova. Oh, and also Germany is trying to unify. They're going to war with France. That's interesting. You know, maybe now it's time to take what's rightfully ours. The Germans are winning over here. And I'm afraid they might be winning a bit too soon. If all of those troops stuck in Germany come here, we are done. So I really hope we can end this quick. Oh no, they made peace with Germany. Thankfully Spain is in a civil war, so maybe they'll be busy with that. Maybe they won't bring everybody over here. Come on, we can still do this. As long as we don't go bankrupt, we can still do this. Okay, Spain is out. Now there are less troops over here, come on. We did it. We occupied all the ports. The French are going below 0. There we go. The French have lost everything. We got all the French ports in Algeria, we got all the Spanish ports in Morocco. Germany has formed, and we have great relations with them. And we got recognized. And we are 6 million in debt. But those are just details. I also redid my treaty with Britain during the war, and now they are guaranteeing my independence. And I'm paying them 7k. Maybe we can get that down a bit. We can go down to 2000, or maybe even less. No, I think I'll give them 2000, but I'll take over the logging. Now maybe it's time to finally get a police force. Dominion of India left the British Empire. Really? They became independent? Well, that's absolutely terrible for us. They were a pretty important part of the British Empire. But I guess we're still better off inside the British market. And we can get a defensive pact with Britain now. Now that's a pretty good treaty. Now we can finally establish our first company, the tooling one. And the colonization of Fezzan completed. Now we have all of Libya. I guess we'll start colonizing into Mauritania, although this state has malaria, so our progress will be slow. And yeah, in case you're wondering, India actually collapsed. But Sindh managed to get most of Pakistan. Good for them, they are pretty strong. Let's get our second company, which will be the paper one, because I think it's about time we start spamming universities. Also, maybe we should move the capital from Fezzan, since nobody really lives here. I think Tripoli is the better choice. The Invisible Man. Someone is trying to assassinate our prince, after uniting the entirety of the Maghreb. Who would do such a thing? Anyway, I just hope he doesn't succeed. We got nationalism unlocked, so that means we can form a country. We can either become Algeria or Libya. Of course I want to become Libya. We are a glorious union. Oh yeah, look at this. Huge Ibadi Libya all across the Maghreb. We can also form the Maghreb at some point, whenever we get pan-nationalism, but that's pretty far away. For now we'll focus on building up Libya. And we managed to enact free trade. The Ottomans are taking Egypt again. They just don't know when to give up. They can mobilize a third of the units the Egyptians can. They'll get destroyed. I guess we can try to also take the Egyptians. I think we can beat them. After all, they are still online infantry. This is not gonna be an easy war, however. But if we win, Egypt is completely done. We took their capital. This is the end of Egypt. There we go. Sudan is free, and we took Cairo and Sinai as well. Maybe there will be some great power that will want to buy the Suez Canal. I would definitely take that deal. Assassination. We didn't manage to stop it in time, and our prince died. Now this guy is only 15, and we must select a regency. Let's see. We'll get this modernizer, although he can't really do much. Our government is very legitimate, and I think the regency will end in like a year anyway. Q9. Now we can colonize a bit faster. A coup? Come Come on now. But in the meanwhile, the king is crowned. Salim al-Nasir will lead our country, and no one dares to coup the king, so we'll have a stable country in the end. Okay, the Turks might be able to take over the rest of Anatolia, since Greece is pretty unstable. Now Germany is fighting Austria, and they want to conquer Austria from them. But the Russians won't allow that. That's not very good. I don't really want Germany to be disbanded. They were very friendly to me. Ah, we almost did it. We almost cut the French off from colonizing the rest of this. I guess we can still do it if we colonize Timbuktu fast enough, but they will probably start a colony here anyway. The borders will be so bad over here, my god. The Rhineland and Bavaria has been taken away from Germany. They are way weaker now, my god. They are barely a great power. Okay, we have sealed this entire region away from the Europeans. We'll be colonizing all of it. However, the border with France is looking terrible right now. It is what it is. We also got a national guard, because the Egyptians are going too crazy. The British are being attacked by the French. This could be an opportunity to attack them as well. But I don't know, they're pretty strong. Ah, okay, we'll do it. Just to fix the borders a bit, you know, nothing too crazy. Like I was expecting, the French are too busy fighting Britain, so we'll definitely be occupying our war goals. But now we're getting a huge abolitionist movement that wants to ban slavery. We might just have to accept their demands. Oh, now we got the pro-slavery movement, which is even bigger. The king is trying to coup the government. Oh yeah, he's also a slaver. No, the government must survive. And this war must end. Finally, you have good borders. Good news, we got steel frame buildings. Bad news, the revolt started. But we have allies to protect us. Britain will help us ban the slave trade. Libya will be a free nation. And for that reason, I think it's better for the king to abdicate. Now we must choose another region for our 1-year-old king. This time it will be the market liberal. Bengal of all people. Bengal wants to help the slavers. Well, they're not gonna be much of a problem. Libya is back together. And I really have no idea what Greece is doing at this point. But now they took over Croatia from Austria. I hate when the AI is cooler than me. Well, now it's time to switch everybody to our new amazing steel frame buildings. Let's get the construction going. Let's see. So right now we have about 1 million slaves. And now they've all been freed. Let's go celebrate by invading Egypt and liberating their slaves as well. We'll also switch to interventionism. Seems like everybody wants that. Finally, now we own all of North Africa and Crete. Now the Egyptians live in Syria and Eritrea. Somehow France became a pariah. Ooh, I think it's because they tried to conquer parts of India. Well, now Bengal, Russia and Austria are trying to cut them down to size. Oh, and Germany as well. Yeah, France is losing this one. We got interventionism, and now I want to make the church happy. So we'll get some charity hospitals. That will give us another 20% conversion, which is huge. Because yeah, we're trying to convert as many people as possible to Ibadi. We already got 30%. That's over 8 million. That's actually more than the entire Ibadi population today in 2026. So yeah, it's pretty impressive. If no one else wants to build the Suez Canal, I guess I'll do it myself. The French lost all their possessions in India. That's probably for the better. And now they blow us. Oh, and Senegal is also independent. I guess we can take this one state from them. Anyway, so the French don't really have an empire anymore. Charity hospitals. There we go. Now I'll get rid of the guild system. And we'll go for anti-strike laws. And we finish the colonization of Niger. Now we're not really colonizing anymore. So we should stop investing in that. And instead invest in healthcare, for example. The Suez survey completed. So let's build a canal. You know what? I've decided to go all in on converting everybody to Ibadi. So we'll revoke all of those taxes. And it's time to spread those national values decrees. Let's get them everywhere. And now we'll be losing some money. But more people will be converted. Nihilism. Now that's heresy. Oh, and we got the Iberian Union. That's very cool. And that's a very cool flag. Time to also commercialize the agriculture. Time for our third company. The home goods one. This law passed. Oil. We found oil. And now we're officially majority Ibadi. And we'll keep going. We're converting over 70,000 people per month. But now it's time for the regency to end. Long live the king. And we lost a bit of authority. We might have to get rid of some of those decrees. An alliance with Iberia. And the mutual investment agreement. You know what? This sounds very good. Yeah, sure. Oppressor and oppressed. Okay. Yeah, this might complete. But I don't think that's that bad. We got the communist event. And I think we can do regulatory bodies. Now the Iberians want to beat up China. And they're asking for my help. Okay, sure. Oh yeah, and we also opened up the borders a little bit. You know, just a little bit. We only have 4 million peasants left in our country. Now I suppose we can go for full-on laissez-faire. Oh, but the socialists are not very happy with that. Well, they are very weak and they don't matter. Egypt is now attacking me. They think they can take back their country. And I'm gonna release a buffer state in Palestine to make sure this doesn't happen again. I guess we can also call in the Iberians in this war. They want to enforce investment rights. Okay, they just back down. And we also got laissez-faire. I don't really want to fight a civil war with the trade unions. So I'll try to appease them by switching to corporatized unions. Damn, and now we're getting 40% more conversion from the Ibadi ulema. Because they just became powerful. Now it's time to build up all that oil we got. No, Britain, I'm not going to war with Russia and France. We'll have to break the treaty. It's unfortunate, but we have to. How about we get a new one? Where I also get some investment rights in your country. Okay, that works. Really, the Ottomans want to go to war? I don't even want anything from you. But I'll bring in the Iberians cause they want investment rights. Now maybe it's time to get some democracy. Let's go for census suffrage. Hopefully the Ibadi ulema will remain powerful. There we go, we are now a democracy. And we'll be having elections. elections, which will have to be won by the Islamic Party, and will get wage subsidies to make them happy. Egypt, are you for real right now? And they took over Sudan, so now I have to fight them down there. The liberals actually won, but the Islamic Party came in second, so we can form a government together. The law passed. Now what I really want is compulsory primary schools. 100%. There we go. Now we can start investing even more into education, and that's another 40% conversion. Let's build a skyscraper, and I decided to go for graduated taxation, because that's a lot more money. And we had a pretty good exhibition. Another company will do the motors one. Now it's 1918 and maybe it's time to take a look at the rest of the world. Over in North America, Canada got their independence. The US took over all of Mexico, except for the Yucatan Peninsula. The Mexican Empire still lives on. Honduras is anarchist. Brazil lost a couple of their provinces. Over in Asia, everybody collapsed. The Heavenly Kingdom is doing pretty well though. They converted quite a couple people. Things are interesting in Europe. You know, Western Europe is looking pretty nice. We got the Iberian Union, the German Empire, a big Belgium. But then once you get to the Balkans, my god, it's such a mess. Even more than usually. Austria conquered Romania and Serbia. The British got most of the Ottoman land. They gave some of it to the Ionian Islands. Greece is having an anarchist revolt. And they lost Tetica somehow. I didn't even know that can happen. Yeah, but they're keeping Croatia somehow. At least Bulgaria is doing well. They took over Constantinople. The Ottomans had the worst game ever. Egypt is in exile over in Syria. And then we get to us. We own all of North Africa. And the British own Sub-Saharan Africa. And we have a big line of buffer states in between. Anyway, we are doing really well. We are the fourth largest power in the world. But we have the largest economy. And the highest GDP per capita. Yeah, everybody is doing really well. But most importantly, we managed to convert 80% of our population to Ibadi. Yes, there are a majority in every single one of our states. We are the greatest Ibadi nation ever. Way better than Oman. Look at them, they don't even have an Ibadi majority anymore. The Sunnis took over. I can also form the Maghreb, but I don't see any point in that. It's just gonna be a bit more prestige. And besides, Libya is way cooler. Anyway, those are all the laws we managed to pass. All of our institutions, our companies, and our trade were still part of the British market. So that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more Victoria 3 A to Z. Thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next one.